Alright, you all are unmuted. Welcome to the stream. My name is Obsidia, everybody's favorite Death Knight and the DM of this campaign. We were off last week as our lovely Yulia was preparing to get pogged out for con malarkey, but we are here, we are queer. Get used to it. As is tradition, we are going to do round the table introductions before we jump on to a brief session recap and then go straight into the trauma. Alright, first up we have Paige the Mage.
Yep, here. I'm a little tired, but I'm good. Hello, everyone. My name is Yulia. When I am not a time mage cat page, I'm an elf knight. I do a lot of Skyrim, a lot of RPGs on my channel, play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons with these wonderful people. So thanks so much for always having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Yulia. Next up, we have Ilya.
Hello. My name is Lily, and I'm playing Ilya for this campaign. Nothing too much to report on my end. Just excited to be here playing Ashes on today. Why did I even say on? So excited to play Ashes today. It's not a Lily intro if I don't screw it up. And also playing a bit more of Vojin in the Iron Kingdoms sessions that we're doing on Wednesday. So just excited for some Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, because we play Dungeons and Dragons.
We play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, please pray for our poor Lily. She decided to play a cis hetero white man in our Wednesday campaign.
It's so hard.
Oh man,
Man.
Did you do it?
I just forget about that and just try and be a parental figure to absolute disasters. And that's the best way to just forget about it.
Thank you, Lily. Next up, we have Euphoria Cox.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I'm Maris, and I play Miss Euphoria Cox, everyone's favorite hot pink tiefling MILF. When I'm not said hot pink tiefling MILF, I am a cosmic space dragon over on my channel, and we like to do comfy, cozy stories. We've been reading a lot of Sherlock Holmes recently. Stop on by if that's your thing. Otherwise, you can always catch me here being queer.
I love that. One note about Sherlock Holmes. I love that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle hated writing Sherlock Holmes things. His true passion was writing a story about Buddhist monk spirits or something, but it was so universally disliked. He had to keep writing Sherlock Holmes to make money.
And even after he killed Sherlock Holmes out of spite, his audience was like, how dare you? And pressured him to bring Sherlock Holmes back from the dead and write more Sherlock Holmes.
The original fandom. So yes, next up we have your pal, Mal Rao.
When I'm not, the pal Mal Rao, I'm Literal the Bronze, a 1/4 bronze dragon that likes to play all types of new tabletops and other things. I'm currently going through running a Pathfinder game on another friend's channel, and looking to do some future one-shots maybe. Also, I just got better internet, so I may be able to stream some more soon. Yay!
Yay! You'll love to see it. You like Pathfinder, go check out Litro's videos about it, and go watch him on Azura forgot the rest of her name. Azura's channel. Go watch him on Azura's channel. Because I forget that you don't do it on yours. So yes, they're very good. There's a lot of very cuties in there. It's good times. And last but never least, we have Ces the Mess.
Hi, it's me, Ces, actually roleplayed by real ass stinky man, Sif. No major announcements. Art, I said I'd try Deltarune this week, maybe, or maybe next week. I have not streamed a game in a very hot minute, but we will try. Nothing else besides I love you guys, and I'm sorry for what happens today.
Yay!
Oh, not ominous at all.
Speaking of new games, the new Zelda game. Oof.
I've seen so many brains rotted by
nonstop.
that new Zelda game, and I've also seen people make fucking BattleTech mechas in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
thought you
shared
meant
one with
like
you earlier today.
the fan content that's been coming out. My bad.
No, that game is just straight up amazing. You could get lost in it for
Uh,
hours.
Don't worry about it, Latro. Anyways,
but yes.
Anyways.
Also, the Zelda art content has been quite poggers. Little did we know there was a better Link outfit than slutty Gerudo Thief Link, and
You'll love to see it.
it's winter backless dress Link.
Good. It's so good.
But yes, previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, our plucky group of adventurers was dealing with the repercussions of Sylvana / Silonia revelations about the past, and it was them kind of deciding what to do now that they know that the whole world is potentially at risk if they leave the Ashbringers to their own devices. So Malraldo was fed up with the fact that he found out that his sort of friend companion was indirectly responsible for killing his wife and son, and so he decided to move out, stay a part of the party because it's the fate of the world type stuff, but he just couldn't be in the same house as Silonia anymore, and he moved in with everybody's favorite snake MILF, Cryotrixia, where he had a sad moment teaching Cleotrixia, her daughter, about making filigree, and it reminded him of the smithing that he was teaching his son and had to relive under Paige's trauma time, before he kind of went into why he hates Silonia to Cryotrixia and that she's a threat to everybody, and Cryotrixia took that as if she ever goes one step farther, Cryotrixia would definitely be involved in ending her once and for all. Additionally, she said that, she would speak to the governor about getting her and the other champions of Greywall made available to help when the time comes to face off with the Ashbringers. Next, Larissa said that Cess looked like a sad goth and needed a makeover, and so she took her to a makeover date at a hair salon run by one of her harpy friends, a peacock harpy named Prismic, where she basically explained that Cess really needs to, huff some copium and feel better about herself, because she is just so sad and irrationally so, because she's pretty great in her own right, and the only person who doesn't realize that is fucking Cess. And so she also said that she should be head empty and real bimbo hours going forward. Then Ilya and Euphoria had a time where they decided to journey to Ilya's homeland in the Facefires and the orphanage of Misfit Fae that she had left under the caretaking of her goblin femboy butler, Snow. And they got to head up there, talk about their traumas, what they've lost, as well as past loves, as well as meeting some cute and eccentric little Fae children, including a talking rock named Sebastian. And, they left feeling better about themselves and flirting quite gaily before returning to Greywall. And then last but not least, Ilya decided to talk to Silonia about, everything that Silonia is putting herself through to try and, deal with the potential world-ending consequences of her own actions. And she hasn't been sleeping at all, and basically said that she's a horrible person, and she understands that this is the last good thing she can ever do with her life, because you guys would never want her to be around anymore after this, and she has nothing else. So she's trying to do what she can, and then Ilya was being a good mom as Silonia just finally broke down crying against Ilya. And with that, we ended. And so we pick up at the start of another day, as I believe we were going to have some time with Paige and Cess. So Paige, what do you want to do this day?
Oh goodness. Okay. That is an excellent question. So most likely she will spend a lot of her day reading. But eventually, after all everything that's kind of come across, and she's still processing a lot of the stuff that's been going on the past couple of days, she'll go out to try to seek out where Seth is.
Seth,
If she,
where are you?
I'd imagine like everybody's still on their trips, right? Like Ilya and
Yeah, sure.
Euphoria are out on their trip, and like yeah. So Sez would just probably be in the living room with like no or foyer, what the area in front of the front door, just waiting, bored out of her mind. Did all her chores and training for the day, just vegging out on a couch or something.
Okay. Paige, you see a very bored looking Seth sitting on a couch in the foyer.
she's gonna kind of poke her head in a little bit and see that she's alone, and approach a little cautiously at first, but um, Seth, um, is everything okay?
I like the idea that Spike looks up first before Sess turns around.
Her ears immediately go back.
Oh, hey, sis, you okay? If you're looking for Ilya Euphoria, they're out of the house too right now.
No, I was just looking um to see you. Um I know that kind of the last conversation we had wasn't the best, and I just want to apologize if it made anything awkward between us.
We're siblings. We fight. It's just part of being together. It happens. I know you didn't mean anything by it, and I hope you know I don't mean anything by it either. I just have something that helps me fight. That's it. And I didn't take anything that you said personally. Right? I tried to at least.
I'm
Now,
sorry.
are you gonna keep talking to me from down the hall behind the muffly curtain, or are you gonna?
No, she kind of straightens her clothes out a little bit and comes out. Sorry.
Out of character, that was hey, is your mic okay?
Do I sound
You
far?
sound a little watery muffled.
Oh, hold on a second.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It sounds kind of like a laptop mic for some reason. I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes
like a
it make
phone mic.
sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, are you in your
Do I-
car talking to us right now?
Do I sound okay now?
There we
Yes,
go.
there you
Yes.
go. Now you sound like a real person.
Did you have to switch your mic to a different one?
It was no my stupid headphones I just got. Okay. Hi.
Okay. So there you
Okay.
go. You are no longer the life aquatic with Yulia. Continue.
Oh, sorry. I saw the fish in the aquarium and you know those like shifter instincts they just gotta
Yeah.
it happens. Okay. Mhm.
Okay, whatever works. So
Sorry.
was there anything else you needed besides that?
I mean, we haven't really spent the day with just the two of us, but if you're busy or something, I understand. I just kind of
Hold on. Let me check my itinerary, and says actively like looks back to how she was like looking into space before, and then turns back around. I think I can fit you in. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
now. I feel like we should just, you know, spend some time with each other. I kind of miss it.
Sure. What'd you have in mind?
Well, there's a few books that I wanted to pick up that have been on my radar for a little bit. If maybe we could go eat at a cafe and grab some of those books.
Sure, no problem. Okay.
Okay. Are you ready now, or are
I
you fixated on something on the ceiling?
no, I was staring out into space and using sarcasm. That's really it. I'd pack my things to go with us, but there's nothing here, so we can just go. You lead the way, okay? I don't know where a library, a bookstore, any of that could be. So, you go, I follow.
Go ahead, and she already has her little satchel on, so she'll go ahead and walk out.
Okay.
All right. Says I'll follow her.
All right. So, Paige, are you proceeding to your local bookstore?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. As you head through the streets, it is nice and comfy. It's a nice fall day, basically, and you're eventually able to head to a bookstore that is currently run by a Kenku who is sitting there surrounded by all kinds of books as it has like 5 floating around its head at any given time.
Okay. It shouldn't take too long, but you're definitely.
Go right ahead. I will be right here. No worries about me getting lost looking at stuff that I can't read. So.
Well, I could definitely recommend you something in here. You don't have to stand out here.
I mean, I can stand inside if you want, but I won't like wander off anywhere. Don't worry. You can just grab your books and we'll go. Unless there's something you wanted to show me.
I just want. I
Are you?
have
Is
a.
everything all right? Are you okay? You're like cutting out and stuff, and
No, I'm just nervous. I'm sorry. I know things are getting a little crazy and world things are at stake. And I just want us to, act normal for a minute,
I
Just
mean, I think I am. I'm ready to do that, but I think after our last conversation, you might need some more time, and if you really want to just hang out again before whatever happens on this journey, then I'd love to. I'd love to make a few more memories with us together before things go too far out of hand. But as it is right now, I if you're still uncomfortable around me, maybe I should just give you some space. I
please.
can go if you want.
No, she'll go and try to reach for her hand and grab hold of it.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Paige, as you grab Cess's hand, you feel an intense sensation of disorientation, which and also some nausea and sickness. It is very akin to how you felt when you touched Silonia and peered into her head and history. Um, and so when you blink again, you're not holding Cess's hand. You actually find yourself in kind of a almost cartoonish, solar system of stars and planets and moons. And it's very much like something you'd see in a children's book or on the wall of a children's room. Um, and you see each of the different planets and moons floating in this stellar void space have images of Seth in them playing. And you look down and you are standing on uh, a little cartoonish kind of spaceship. it looks very much like somebody drew what would be a little stick figure, airship and stuff, but in space. And it's got little star designs, and there is a small version of child Cess standing next to you in the ship, but they are very much kind of black, covered in all of their clothing and features. It's just this very inky kind of substance. Like they're somewhat gelatinous kind of thing, but they're very much in the form of what you remember as your sister. Oh, gee, there we go. Sorry, my internet glitched for a second. As your sister, and they look up at you with their big black eyes that are somewhat void-like, and they kind of scrunch their mouth, and they go, "You don't belong here."
What? Who are you? Are you Cess?
I protect Cess. You should not be here.
You're the one that she calls Spike then, right?
It nods.
Are you actually protecting her?
I do everything I can to protect Cess.
She kind of like glares down. Her hands are shaking a little bit. You better be, because I swear if something happens to her because of you, she trusts you, and I don't know if I can, but...
I do everything to help Shami. You only hurt Shami.
Me? Hurt? What? Talking about?
You should leave.
This is my sister. You don't know her like I do.
You do not know Shami. You only know Cess.
Shami. We are sisters. She's everything that I have. You don't know anything about her. All you're doing is just pushing us apart.
You push her away. You hurt her. Everything you do hurts her. I protect her. I want you out.
No. If anyone is going to protect her, it's going to be me. I suggest you leave her alone.
I am now trapped here with you. I need you to leave, but I must help you leave.
Well then, why is it that you want to help her? Why are you trying so hard to protect her?
Shami keeps us warm.
can't anyone do that? Why her? Why does it have to be her?
Shami promised. And I take care of Shami. Shami show how to feel the warmth. It is so cold.
She has that effect on people. She's too good. She is. To even accept something like you, I don't understand it, but have to work together to get out of here, then that's fine.
Spike will... Sorry.
No, I just don't want you to hurt her.
And I don't want you to hurt Shami. And she points to the driver's seat of the little spaceship. And Spike looks up at you and goes, I cannot reach the petals. You must fly us away.
Hey, I've never driven a spaceship before, but I guess it can't be too hard.
And
you're sitting in the back, right?
And yeah, they'll just kind of be, standing on a chair behind you, looming over your shoulder.
Okay. She'll go and sit down, and I assume since it's like a kid's spaceship, that the controls aren't complicated.
No, it's literally like a steering wheel with like a pedal and a brake.
Okay.
Made of plastic.
This is strange. This is inside Shami's consciousness. This is a little weird. She would have a little spaceship, but okay, she'll go ahead and try to push on the pedal to see if it'll go.
The spaceship starts chugging forward, and you see little stars and rainbows come out the back of it. And you find yourself in a vast solar system of Cess's memories and experiences.
Okay, she's going to be kind of looking out the entire time. Is there something notable that she sees? Yeah, as they're going along.
So one of the things you notice, as you're flying by, you see a memory of Silonia, actually, and it's Silonia and Cess sitting on a hill at sunset as Cess leans over and gives her a kiss on the cheek, and then you see it flash to seeing Silonia the next day with your ribbon wrapped around her arm, and smiling at you, and then you see that fade away as you cross through another planet where you see Cess standing amidst the arcane arena, and standing amid the arcade arena, and just this great feeling of like excitement to finally be here as like the culmination of her career. And then you see it flash to the after effects and Kai Shen thanking you for being able to save him from the amulet and everything, and you just have this feeling of how come everyone is getting the praise for the thing that mattered the most to me. And that begins to fade away, and you, as you're puttering through the system, you see kind of, it's like it's intentionally void-like in the distance, but it seems to be something that has incredibly strong resonance here. And it kind of looks like some kind of swirling void.
Okay. Do you know what that is?
You shouldn't go there. Shami doesn't want you there. That is something only for Shami and for us.
She's going to head in that direction.
Okay. As you head in that direction, you see the rest of the solar system begins to fade away, as if it is growing colder and stiller, as if this is the end of the universe, basically. And then as you pass through this, you see kind of some darker memories from things you've seen Cess mention. That's how you can recognize them. You see Cess giving a ring to a sheep shifter in immaculate clothing, and the sheep refusing and walking away, and then you never see another memory of that. You see Jubilee sprouting her great stellar hawk's wings as she gets on top of her horse and rides away with Oberon, never to be seen again. And you see that it just gets so much darker here. But once you start going, you see it actually feels like a pull. And you see something which is an enormous black hole that is just saturating this area with negativity. But it, now that you have directed to it, the resonance between you and it is growing stronger and stronger. And you see Spike getting more and more agitated and saying, "You must go back. You must go back. You cannot do this to Shami. Shami doesn't want you here."
If she needs, I need to know everything about her. You don't get to know everything about her. We are sisters. I need to do this.
And as you enter the pool, you feel yourself flashing to different memories. These all feel very comfy and warm. You see like a child Cess playing with a little spiked black like little puppy that obviously bears a resemblance to Spike. And at this moment, you realize this can't be real. This obviously never happened. But it feels very warm, and Cess seems to be very happy in this moment, and Spike seems to be very happy in this moment. It feels like it'd be a great place to just kind of settle down and not delve any further. What do you do?
Gonna kind of look over to Spike. Are you messing with her memories?
This is a better place to be. You should not go further. This is warm.
No. That's not right. I know I shouldn't, but I also feel like I don't know her at all, and I want to know. I'm going to keep going.
All right, you push through it and it fades away and the warmth fades away. then you come to a new memory where you see Cess as an adult with Jubilee, and they're smiling and laughing, and they're playing with Spike as he frolics around them, and it's sunny and warm. And in the area around them, you see the rest of your friends and companions all, having fun and laughing together, except you're not there. And what do you do?
Kind of looks over at the scene and kind of laxes her shoulders a bit. She does look really happy, doesn't she? This is what I want for her. I want her to be this happy again with everyone.
Then let her have this. Leave, Shami.
She wouldn't want this to be fake. She's real and strong, and I know that she can overcome anything. I know she wouldn't, as much as I know that she would want this. It's not real.
And as you push through that, it begins to fade away, and you find your little spaceship disappears, and you're standing in front of a singular door that is covered in locks and chains, and the entire universe has faded away and melted away into blackness, and there is just this door. What do you do?
Kind of walk over to it a little bit and examine. Is it like towering? Is it just like a regular sized door?
It's a regular sized door, and then out of the blackness you see Cess, like your Cess, standing there.
Cess? Cess,
When
are
were
you okay?
When were you gonna tell me?
Huh? Tell you?
When were you gonna tell me that I was gonna die?
What?
I don't know what you did or where we are, but I saw things I shouldn't have, and I tried to look past it, but there was one that was just louder and louder everywhere I went there. When were you gonna tell me?
I didn't know. No, no, that's not it.
What's not it? Listen, I get it. I get you're a doormat for your professor, okay? And I'm not mad at you when you don't stick up for me against her, alright? It's not your fight. It's not what you do. It's fine. But you weren't gonna tell me that I was gonna die? I have been struggling with this for so long, and it's here. It's gonna happen. And you didn't tell me?
No, it's not. It's not going to. I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen.
You're going to make sure. It's my life, sis. And you decided to keep that from me. Why? Is that why you've been so weird around me? Is that why you don't want to? Why you've been so afraid to be with me? Why you look at me like that?
Well, of course not. Don't say things like that. Everything I'm doing is for you, Cess. It has always been for you. I am trying to prevent things from happening. You're not going to die. You're not.
Why do you look at me like that? When I changed, when I started using Spike, when I changed how I look because I was trying to get over a girl, why did you look at me like that?
Going to prevent it. want you to die. So
I don't have mom. I don't have dad. I have you. You're all I've got. That's it. So when you look at me like that, when you keep things like that from me, when you're disappointed in me like that, would mom and dad act like that? Would they not love me? Would they not be proud of me?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Seth. That's not what I meant. That's not what I'm trying to do at all.
And what are you trying to do? Why are we here? Is it behind that door? Is that it? Is that all you want to see? For your
No.
grand plan to save my life without me a part of it? Are you gonna say anything? Or should I just open this stupid door so you can get what you need and get out?
Oh, please, no. If it's not meant to be open, I won't do it. I'll find another way. I'll find something else.
You see her reaching towards the doorknob, and the lock sort of slowly unshackle and open as her hand goes on the knob, and she turns and looks back at you.
Wait, stop.
I'm gonna die anyways, right?
No, you're not.
What? Your professor seems so sure of it, and what
That's
plan could there be if you haven't told me until now? Until I had to find out.
figuring things out. There's a
Whatever's
million.
behind this door, it doesn't matter. And she turns the doorknob and opens it up, and a bright flash hits everybody.
Yes, Paige, you find yourself blinded in a flash of light as you see Cess and you looking down at a middle schooler version of Cess, and she is kneeling at the vast crumbled and destroyed tower that your father's workshop used to be in before that fateful day when the Ashbringers brought it crashing down. And you can see, because you grew up with her at the time, that it seems to have been at least some time since your father was killed, but the subsequent reconstruction is proving to be quite slow in the lower districts, where people are not inclined to rebuild the places where these people lived. And she is just sobbing uncontrollably, holding up a crumpled up poem. And you now realize this moment. This was when you had your early college interview for Moorgrave, and your mother had to go with you to attend that so that you could get put into the chronotherapy program. And it's in that moment that you remember, wait, Cess was supposed to have a poetry reading that day in school, and you and your mom were invited, but obviously you couldn't go that day. And that interview was important. You were able to get into Moorgrave with it. You got to meet your professor, and she immediately took a shining to you and said that one day you would be one of the greatest chronotherges in this world. And then you also hear that Cess seems to be expressing something. Cess.
All right, hold on. I gotta get up from the table and bring something back to the table. And by that I mean those of you in call, look at stream, and hopefully this will update fast enough. Where is it? I drew this last session in like 2.5 hours, and I'm really bad at drawing kids. Hey, Dad. I You know, I said I wouldn't get class to be here anymore, but like last time I know, last time I came to thank you for the books you got me and Sis. I still can't get over what book you got her. She keeps asking Mom all these weird questions. But that book you gave me about heroes, I told you I was gonna do this little poem about it, and my teacher was really, really looking forward to putting me on stage, but I just I couldn't do it. I loved the book, that I loved it, but I I Sis and Ma couldn't make it today. And when I tried to go get them, some bigwig elf lady stopped me at the principal's office and said whatever I was gonna say didn't matter to what Paige was doing, and I know, I know. I just I wanted Mom and Sis to see that I could take care of myself. Ever since you've been gone, it's so hard. They've been so focused on what we should do for the future, and I want them to know more than I can do that. I'm more than just some kid who cuts class and starts fights, but I just I couldn't do the reading without them there. I just ran out. I don't think I want to try anymore. Listen, Dad, I know what you were trying to tell me by giving me this book about heroes, that we we can all rise up to bigger things. You wanted more from me than to just be another Smith like you. But I also know you and Ma always sacrificed things to take care of me and Paige. And now that you're gone and things are harder, I need to accept that I need to give up things too, so that everything can get better. And then maybe the four of us could. She starts crying a bit more, and she takes out the book that her dad bought her, the last gift that he had for his kids, and she buries it in the rubble. I'm sorry, Dad. I know you'd want better for me, but I need to do what I can to help everyone. This weird gargoyle guy's been seeing me cut class and saying it's really impressive that I can sneak past the school guards that fast and that easily. I wish Ma or the teachers could say stuff like that. I If I do a little work for him, maybe it'll help out everyone. Maybe the Boromars will stop being so rowdy down where we live. I really wish you were here right now. Because I don't know if I want to grow up this fast. And she starts continuing to cry, and it starts to rain. And if I could take a little leeway here, the adult says is gone, but Paige, you feel the raindrops now pitter patter over you as you're like on street level with Child Says crying.
Kind of a little bit away at a distance, watching Seth. She's just staring for a moment, watching her parry the poem, and I guess I really wasn't a good sister after all, was I? Been so selfish. I've only been looking out for myself. I don't even know if you can call me a sister at this point. All I've done is let you down. So sorry.
Are you saying all that out loud?
Yeah.
You hear Child Says like freak out and like sort of like stumble back from the table and go, "Who's there? I have a brick."
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I'm just. This place used to be pretty cool, huh? I remember before it all came down.
You see her like panicking, realizing someone saw her, and she's like rubbing the tears out of her eyes, like, yeah, I I had a dad who used to work here, and he's not around anymore. But they're not going to build that memorial site for a year or so. So I sometimes sneak out here to talk to him, that feel like he's still around.
Hmm. I remember him. He was a really good man.
Did, did you did you know him well?
He had talked about his beautiful, amazing, athletic daughter of his. How spunky she is, and how hard she tries.
Did he tell you about his sister? Because she's pretty amazing too. She's taken on so much, but her family's future, and it's just amazing how much she's doing.
And her too. I know you two haven't spent a lot of time with each other. I hope that changes one day.
That's why we're both working hard, yeah. She'll finish her school, and I'll finish my own work, and things will be safe again, and then maybe we can hang out without having to worry about any more towers falling, any more explosions and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. I hope that day comes soon for you.
I know it will. After all, there's no one I'd rather spend time with than my sister. And I think at that like little happy comment and smile, that's when the time vision ends. Unless there's something else you wanted to do, Yulia and Obs.
No.
All right, hold on. I gotta put the goth outfit back on.
You know, Paige, you feel with that the experience begins to collapse away as the past is actively trying to reject you, and you just see Spike saying, "You are going to hurt her. You shouldn't have shown her this." And with that, the rest of the vision and memory collapses, and you find yourself outside of the bookstore, holding Cess's arm.
Says immediately snatches her arm back and just looks at her sister with the most panicked look. Did any of that help you? Are you... Say something. Did any of that help you?
Sorry, Seth.
I
know you felt that way.
You cut out there, Yulia, a little bit. I'm sorry.
And I didn't know you felt that way.
When we lost Dad, our family had to take on more sacrifices or whatever. It's what happens. Okay, I'm not mad or upset at anybody. I don't think anyone was selfish there. It's just one day people are here and the next day they're gone, and we deal with that the best we can. I had to do things and you had to do things. I don't think you're selfish or demanding. Or you did what you had to do, and I did what I had to do. And to be honest, for the longest time, ever since I told you about what I did, I always thought that was the problem. Maybe I shouldn't have done those things, but I don't regret doing anything I ever did. Because I worked at LD, there was more of his presence in the shifter community and less of the Boromars. People were safer. And it's not because I'm sad because a girl dumped me, okay? It's happened twice, so I know it's not that. But when I found out that you were keeping that from me, I just... When were you gonna tell me?
I think I was just being delusional myself. I didn't want it to happen, so I made believe that it wouldn't because I thought that I could change it.
I just... Listen, I get that you're gonna be this all-powerful, world-defying mage one day. I know that. And I know you probably will change some part of my fate. We're sisters, it's that effect we have on each other, but it feels like you're distancing yourself from me. That when I die, it'll be by myself. And I really, really don't want to die alone. I
She'll
feel
just-
like I'm abandoned.
She's just gonna run over and hug her.
As you start to go in for that hug, you feel the spikes from Cez's jacket begin to nub against you as if pushing you away. And then
gonna
Cez
say-
herself shrugs you off. I need space right now. We can't be having this talk here. I need space. I'll be back home later, and when everyone else is home, I'll tell them. Okay? And I won't put you out like that, okay? I'll tell them. And Cez turns around and begins hobbling off, holding herself.
What have I done? Just going to try to find a quiet place. Not return home yet. Just go in some sort of back alley and just sit with herself for a minute.
Okay. As you go to sit and reflect on what you just experienced, Cess.
I feel like fucking shit, DM.
This
This
is on you. I just do what you all tell me to do.
We cooked something a little too spicy, and now it's killing me. But Cez is gonna head to that park that she bought, the paw print park that she donated for.
Does it have security services known as the Paw Patrol?
She is gonna, like, on the way go to the nearby bakery and that, like, butchery run by the lizards and pick up a few things to make a couple of sandwiches. And she is going to, like, go to one of the grassy hills of that park and just sit up against a tree, set Spike next to her, so Spike will deform into, like, a little goo pile, and says we'll make 2 sandwiches, one for her and one for them.
The Spike extends out an appendage and consumes.
I wasn't there when you guys were in my head, but I know you helped my sister, and I know she doesn't trust you. I know the others don't really trust you, but thank you for making sure she didn't get screwed over in my head.
We want to protect you, Shami.
I know. And I want to protect you too. And she sort of like moves her hand over and like tries to like scratch behind its ear.
It
I
goos gooily.
She didn't see any of your memories, yeah?
No, I
Just
tried to protect you.
I know what you've been through. Being separated from your kind, being tortured and experimented on, and I know the group tends to gloss over that fact, but I'm certain they understand it, okay?
We just want you to be happy and warm.
Seems like everybody wants that nowadays. What with Larissa and my sister and the party and just... I'm gonna die, Spike. I am going to die. Out of everything Paige's wacky professor has said, out of all the possible variables and branches she's seen, that seems to be the most consistent thing she's said, that I am going to die. And from my sister sounded, it's probably going to be soon.
It kind of goops over to you and puts a pseudopod on your leg. We will protect you, Shami
Spike.
no die.
Spike, it'll be okay. Okay? I have done everything I can to make sure things will be alright when I'm gone. I know Ilya's going to take good care of her kids. Hopefully when all this is done with Sylvana, she'll have the sense to get out and just stay home with them. And Euphoria, I know she's stupid and stubborn for trying, but she's gonna get her daughter back. Hopefully, maybe she can see past her own stupidity and just be happy with Ilya. Those two, uh, there's way too much between the two. Malral, I know, will find people to take care of for himself. People who will care for him as much as he'll care for them. Kaisha ain't ever gonna be left alone again. I know Lily and Larissa will make sure of that. Iris will get over things and become the greatest air pilot he was meant to be. And she goes on, continues listing every NPC and every character she's interacted with until finally. And my sister will, well, not a single thing will happen in this world without her pushing a finger, so she'll be the greatest there ever was. I know that. That's what everyone says, and I know that to be true. I guess the only person I'm really worried about now is you, Spike. When it's over, I don't think the group will be keen on taking care of you. I don't think they've come to see you in the same light that I have. And I don't want you getting caught again and put back on that surgical table and branded into whatever shape they want. That's not fair to you. So we're gonna make a little promise, you and I. And she extends like a pinky out for a pinky promise.
It covers your hand in goo. It doesn't really know how to properly react to this.
This will count. When I die, I know you haven't done this, and the others still can't figure out why, and I appreciate that you haven't done it, but when I die, you can take my body. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you'll settle on. You can stay and help the others, but if you wanted to go and do something yourself, I wouldn't blame you. After everything you've been through, and everything I've put you through with me, you should get the right to a life and death of your own choosing. So if you wanted to go travel the world, see the sights, get your own glory, eat everything you'd ever want, go back to the Underdark, protect your kind. Whatever you wanted, you can do. But you have to promise me one thing, Spike. And then she sort of like scoops him up and holds him up to the sky like a little puppy.
Yep.
You have to promise me you'll be good, okay? You've done too much and gone too far to be anything but good, okay?
We will protect you.
Ike, you gotta say yes to the promise. I'm not gonna be around forever. You have to be good, okay?
We are afraid.
I'll be with you. Always. The same way I'm there for my sister. And for everyone else, I'll be with you. Don't be afraid. And she pulls them in for a hug. And she's letting them... Sorry, it's been really hard not to like try talk. She pulls them in and actually lets them bond with her skin and not with a piece of clothing.
Okay. They begin to, graft themselves over your flesh, and it feels very comforting and reassuring.
And they just sit there, being one. And as the sun sets and it darkens, they head back home.
Okay.
And yeah, if you guys want to, if the moms want to come back and talk to Paige and check on her while I use tissues to wipe my face, that'd be great.
All right. So Seth heads home. Paige, do you eventually head home, or what do you do post reflecting on your life?
Gosh. Yeah, she'll eventually start to head back. But a notable thing is she's not crying, and she hasn't been crying. She kind of swore herself off from doing so the last time, so she just comes in with her shoulders back a little bit and sits on the couch and just kind of reflecting to herself, reading some of the books that she had got back from her university. So
Okay.
just trying to be as calm as possible.
Spicy. No more tears, Paige. You love to see it. Yeah, eventually everyone will come back home except Malrau. And there's a lot of awkward energy in the house, is what Ilya and Euphoria can pick up on when they get home. But kind of roll with it. And then the next day, there is a knock on your front door. And Lily scampers off to go get that. Where is everybody in the house this afternoon? Except Malrau, because obviously he's in a different house.
I think Ilya would probably just be in the foyer, just kind of reading and sipping tea. So just, standard stuff.
Okay. Euphoria?
She's probably training
Okay.
out in the training yard.
Shen will be with you, as is tradition. Paige?
Paige is going to be out in the front of the house, watering Cess's plants.
Okay. If Cess is back, Cess can say, but I think Cess is...
I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry. I just got back from like wiping the snot off my shirt and face.
All the ugly crying.
Yeah. So the last thing I heard was Yulia was watering plants.
Just where are you this afternoon in the house?
The following day, just
Yeah.
to be clear.
Oh, the following day. Is it still
Everybody
just like
is back home but Malrao.
Do I want to do this announcement before Malrao? I know I'll wait for Malrao to come back before I do it. Ces would be. You know what? If Paige is mid-guarding, Ces is gonna come out of a bush. There will be context for what is past that bush at a later date.
Okay, we believe you. We believe you.
Trust me, I am cooking right now.
Too busy dancing around the bush. I understand.
Okay. No, just
Okay.
Here. She's like come out of like a point of the garden where like there should be a wall where you'd expect it.
Oh, she could have been mid-watering and like accidentally poured the water on Ces.
Yeah, sure, if you want to do that, yeah.
It's up to you.
You hydrate
That's fine.
Ces.
Ces walks out of like a hedge bush, like she's parted the two as you're watering, and just splashes her. You're like, oh, sorry, sis, I do not mind what was behind that bush, and she like closes the hedge behind her.
Huh?
It's a part of the garden I'm working on. Okay, it's a little secret project. And anyways, you haven't told anybody, right?
Only if you want me to.
No, I saw how broken up you got about it. So I'll tell them when Malrao comes back. I don't want to have to say it twice. It'll fucking kill me. I mean,
Her ears go
Sure.
back.
I'm not mad at you, okay? All I need you to know is if and when it does happen, that you're somewhere nearby. Okay?
I'll
If
be
it
there.
hurts, okay.
I'll be there.
I'm gonna go inside and hopefully soon everyone will be home.
Okay.
But we'll be okay, okay? She says as like the spike crawls up her neck a bit. She turns around and goes back into the house.
All right. No more cesses emerge from the plant life as you're watering, Paige.
She is gonna look over at the spot where she came out. Like, so much for no more secrets. And she's gonna head inside.
Okay. As everybody is now inside, Ilya, you see Lily go to open the door, and as she opens the door, you see that there is a tall, very unusual looking elf standing at the door. It is a female elf wearing lots of very intricately inlaid black leathers. She has kind of a purplish gray skin, these large red reptilian eyes, and long flowing braided white hair. And just to be clear, since everybody's thinking it, 99% of people have never seen a drow in their life, to be clear, since drow live
Gotcha.
on another continent, basically. They're largely considered to be a myth. And Lily looks up. Excuse me? Who might I ask is here? Hello, little one. I have something to say to your masters about potential work.
Ilya, upon hearing this, will stand up and just walk over and just kind of go to like take a bow and like reach out for their hand and just say, I believe that I can help you with whatever it is that you need.
Oh, hello, Ilya. as she extends out one of her hands and gives you a big smile, and she has very, very extended canines, and all of her teeth have been filed to points.
Takes the hand, kisses it gently as he would, and just says, "Well, you certainly know our names, or at least my name. So what? I take it you have a bit more experience than the average person that would come by our door with a job."
Quiet. I've been watching you all for some time now, and so I feel like our particular motivations have found themselves in alliance. And so I would like a chance to talk to you and all of your compatriots about an exciting new business opportunity.
Well, we certainly should at least hear you out on this. So, yes, Lily, would you mind to go and fetch the rest of the group from here, and we'll kind of gather the troops, as it would be. Might I ask your name, my dear?
My name is Sharnakorova, and I look forward to having this discussion. Now, I think that tea is appropriate. Lily looks a little frazzled. Goes, of course, milady. And she looks up at Ilya, kind of for guidance.
Don't worry. I don't think we. I'll go ahead and make sure to at least get the folks that are close by, and then we'll double team it. It's no problem.
All right, so Lily will scamper off to go get tea as Sharnakorova kind of, gracefully struts into the house. And she will find a seat and, kind of kick back and cross her legs and wait patiently.
Since I know that Paige and Cess were just like out in the garden, or I at least grab Paige first, and then probably um ask where Cess is and if they've seen them recently, and then go find Cess, and then get Euphoria and Kaishan, and the rest of the companions, of course. Roughly that order.
We'd be just missing Malrel then, or
Yes.
Okay.
uh,
So, as you get everyone together, you all see Sharnakorova sitting in her chair, demurely and gracefully drinking some tea that Lily has handed to her. You all noticed her very distinctly red reptilian eyes, and she looks and goes, "Oh, it seems that one of you is missing."
Only for the time being. I hope that's not an inconvenience.
I think that for this particular business opportunity, it would be appropriate for you to have Malral attending. It does concern your particular fates.
should one of us go out and get him, or
Where did he run off to? I
I
know
can
he's
only
nearby.
I can only think of one place where he'd go to stay.
Where would that be?
Sure.
Okay, let's play a little game before you. Who is the tallest mommy we know?
Mommy.
Quirks an eyebrow. Like,
Not me? Are you kidding?
afraid I don't follow.
I'd imagine he'd be staying over at Cryo and Cleotrixia's. He's been babysitting there for some time, so it's not too far of a stretch for him to say that to ask for a place to stay. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't mind going to get Malrao. I talked to him last. So He
Do you
might
want me
be
to
a
walk?
little bit more receptive.
Do you want one of us to walk you over? She's a good friend of the group.
I don't think that'd be necessary, but thank you. I'll scoot on over. I don't want to delay proceedings any longer than necessary. She'll sit up and nod over to their new guest and head on out.
Okay. As you hit the road, you follow the directions to head to Crowtrix's mansion, in the ritzy part of town. Your mansion was built in the middle class area, just because that's where your previous house was. But Crowtrixia is in the very nice part of the town. You see, it's very much like a Hobbitshire hill with lots of beautiful flowers and some knoll guards standing out front.
She'll go and approach the front gate, and whoever seems large and in charge just say that she has business with the guest of Lady Kyratrixia and requests permission to speak with them.
And who should I say is asking about any potential guests that may be here?
Lady Euphoria Cox.
All right. One of the gnolls proceeds to head into the building itself, and he'll go and flag down Malrau. Malrau, what are you doing right now? What are you doing with your life?
I feel like he is being a good father figure right now and letting Cleotrixia use him as a toy, basically trying to put makeup on him.
Okay.
And it is in all the strangest kid-like ways you can see. Like there's like a swirl of makeup. She's trying to do the nails all in different colors.
You see Korak the gnoll, who's one of the head gnoll guards who is doing the shift right now. Kind of looks at you and goes, Lord Malrel, it seems that a Lady Euphoria Cox is outside, wants to see you.
Oh, tell her I'll be out in a moment.
All right. Do you want some time to kind of gestures to all of the makeup and everything?
Making sure that Cleo isn't looking when I nod yes.
All right. He does a little hyena laugh as he walks away, and comes back outside and says, Lord Malrel will be with you shortly.
Very good. I'm not used to having men make me wait, though, but I'll do my best to be patient.
All right, Malrel, after some suitable time for you to clean up.
He comes to the door. You can see he's peeling off an eyelash, all of his off one of his eyelids, and he's like trying to rub off a bit of smeared lipstick off the side of his cheek.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything important.
Just makeup practice.
Makeup practice.
What did you need?
It's not something that I need, it's something the team needs. I think we got a new job. And our client requested all of us.
I see.
So I wanted to come myself to make sure you would be up to it, considering how things were left off.
If it's an important job, I'm ready to go.
Every job's
My
an
time
important
here
job.
has some more than others, but yes, my time here has helped me heal quite a bit.
I'm glad to hear that. So, I presume that means you understand when I ask if we're all on the same page regarding Sylvana. I'm not asking you to forgive her. I'm not even asking you to like her. But I hope you do realize
His smile immediately starts to drop. Enough is said already.
I don't think so. I
It
hope you
is.
realize
I will keep professional around her. But as you said, I will not forgive her and I will not like her.
would you sacrifice your life for her?
You know the answer.
These
And
are
he
the
turns to go
stakes.
get his things before heading off.
Don't you walk away from me right now.
He stops. He turns. A job is a job. I'll get it done.
Would you sacrifice your life for her?
You can't ask me that.
I can, because these are the stakes we're dealt right now.
I will do what is needed for the mission.
She is the only thing that keeps the
Thus,
world from
I will
falling.
do what is needed for the mission. If she is part of the mission, I will do what is needed.
If you aren't willing, truly willing to do everything that and I mean everything, then you can stay here playing parent to someone else. I don't need someone who's got their head all mixed up, messing things for the team or the world. I hope you realize that is what we are protecting now. It is bigger than any of us.
You're looking for those with heads on straight. You've come to the wrong continent. And again, he's going to go walk off and get his equipment before going back to the house. He'll inform Cleo and Cryo that he'll be away for a bit, that a mission came up.
Okay, so Cleo will, be like, okay, come back soon. I got a lot of makeup to put on you. I want to try a new look, a new summer look. And Cryo Trixie will be like, is this about your coming events?
I do not know. I have yet to been told the details. Apparently, they wish to tell us when all of us are together.
Stay safe.
Of course.
All right.
He pats Cleo on the head. I'll be back. And then goes to join Euphoria.
Okay. Korak gives you a nod as you part with your stuff. Euphoria.
She will lead the way back home, but she's got a visibly sour disposition. But head held high and just, I hope you mean what you said.
When have I ever lied?
I don't know. It's too early in our relationship for me to tell yet.
Okay. When you arrive back home, Malral, you see everybody. There is visible tension in the air between the various people here. And you see the elf that I described earlier, casually drinking tea.
Malral pulls out a knife and he just starts cutting through the air. It's the tension. It's too thick.
Oh. I got that one.
You hear Kai Shen just groan.
Let's hear about this job. Is Shana Cordia still here?
Yeah, she is still sitting on her chair.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Excellent. Now that everyone is here, she snaps her fingers, and all the windows become blackened over with darkness. I have come here on behalf of an organization that is aware of certain issues that pose a threat to not just Cover, but also all of Eberron. And we seek to resolve this in a way where the weapons that you created are not unleashed again. As she looks at Silonia. Pardon? What are you talking about? There's no reason to be coy, Mr. Caneth. We have been watching you and your father for some time. Now, we never thought that you were ever going to succeed. And even when, if you call what you did success, we, though, are aware of what the Ashbringers are trying to do. And we know that you all are the only ones capable of stopping them. Accordingly, we want to give you an actual fighting chance in succeeding.
all right. So we appreciate the offer, but do you mind talking about your group and who you represent? I guess it's the same thing, but you'd imagine, I hope you understand, we're a little taken aback by what you've just spoken.
I represent an organization known as the Chamber. We seek to preserve life and stability in Eberron. And so we are going to do that. Unfortunately, because of the present circumstances, we are unable to do that directly. So we felt that considering your unique skills and preferences, we could utilize you, as our motivations are quite aligned.
What exactly would that entail?
We give you compensation, we give you information, and you actually can stop the Ashbringers once and for all.
Okay, I know we're gonna probably work out the finer points of ideals afterwards between the compensation and all that, but since you just shown up and out of the room, who here is familiar with the chamber? Because I'm not, and I'm assuming any members of the party would raise their hand or not.
Yeah, anybody can make a history check, I guess. Very difficult history check because they are a secret society.
Not me though.
-1 for a total of 18.
Nice.
Damn. This is
Given the
11.
given the RP, I know I can't. I just want to see. Okay, cool.
No, nobody
Aw.
knows who the chamber is. But you
I like how
have
the 2 military people rolled the highest.
yeah, the two Euphoria and Malral have heard about. They're is an organization that is not based in any country or megacorp or anything, that does intervene sometimes in seemingly random events, but nobody knows who is actually doing it or why.
So then, how is it
go-
that you
wait,
know
wait.
so? Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was like, to
Mhm.
follow up on what Seth said. Listen, we'll work out the finer details. I know Ellie's got something to say, and I'm assuming once everyone's processed this, everyone else will. I just want to immediately get this out of the way. You guys aren't going to do anything to Silonia when we're done, right? You've been watching her all this time, so you can keep doing that when we're done, right? Nothing bad will happen to her, yeah?
We do not feel it's necessary to take action against her yet. We believe that she is aware of the consequences of her own actions, and it should not be needed to prevent that a third time.
Ilya, who's standing right next, or has been probably sitting next to Silonia, probably just gets up and so, pardon me if I sound a bit mistrusting about this whole situation, but people just showing up on our doorsteps that seem to know at least quite a bit about ourselves. Would you mind letting us know how it is that you know so much, considering you're not from Corvair, from how I take it?
We maintain extensive observation and surveillance of those who potentially pose a threat to our objectives, as we have also been observing Mr. Caneth for quite some time prior to the morning. We have become deeply invested in your lives.
So you knew her before all of this happened.
Yes, admittedly, we thought she would have died long ago. But apparently, some things are not so fortunate.
Well, I look around to the rest of the group. I know that we were looking for something to help us figure out how we could possibly be the ones. So, by all means, convince us.
Excellent. Well, to simply put it, we have a strong suspicion as to how the Ashbringers have been able to carry out their operations for so long. We have had at least a dozen reported incidents confirmed visually and magically of various members of them dying over the last several years, but always they return, seemingly back to their previous states and emerging from the Mournlands. We believe there's a facility in former Seer known as the Last Stand that has some connection to their capabilities to return. We therefore know of the way that we can get you there, and you can be able to stop that and allow them to be killed once and for all. Paige, you obviously know the term the last stand. You remember that from
Yes.
your time vision.
It's gonna kind of perk up a little bit. But why now? Why it's strange that you're coming to us about this and just
If we could do it ourselves, we would. Unfortunately, we cannot enter the Mournlands. It is anathema to our essence. But you are in possession of the only person who is still alive who is familiar with Project Peacemaker and its intricate arcane mechanisms to potentially be able to stop it. We thought after the previous debacle with its activation, it would never be possible to try and do it again. However, with the discovery of the Heart of Darkness and the death of my partner in its defense, we've now become acutely aware that it is quite foreseeable that Peacemaker can be made fully operational.
I think Illy would look down towards Silonia and just say, before looking back at the woman, just say, "So then she's our best shot. She's everything that we need."
Unfortunately,
Well, it's not unfortunate, but just good to know that she'll be able to at least help make things right in some ways. I'm gonna give a smile to Silonia for just
she looks shooketh about
yeah.
this whole interaction.
Just give her like some pets on the back, even just ignore the static that I'm sure comes.
Yep. I'm sure you're all aware that she is a deeply damaged being at this point. You feel the magical feedback coming off of her, don't you?
It is off-putting, but we all have scars that we must live with. That's at least how I view it.
I would just be wary of somebody who has become so connected to dael'kyr bioarcana. It practically pours out of every pore of her being. What? What are you talking about? If you don't know, then I certainly can't enlighten you. It is some secret that is apparently held between you and your father. She shrugs, and Silodia looks very troubled right now.
It's alright, we'll keep our eyes on the mission.
Excellent. So the offer is simple. We're going to pay you 2,500 gold each to go into the Mournlands and destroy the Last Stand facility. We'll provide you the information necessary to make that possible.
Well, if it's to get rid of the Ashbringers, I mean,
It's at least
I
step
think it's a
one.
good thing. Yeah, it's a step in the right direction.
Hmm.
Yes, I think any information would be helpful.
Euphoria? Cess? Malrail?
Well, I said I wasn't about to do anything crazy without some sort of plan. I think we could do with as much information as we can get.
I would
Is it-
like one group meeting after we're done talking about this job, if that's okay.
Of course. We all need time to plan.
Malral has his arms crossed. As he looks on at this unknown race before him, because you said no one's ever seen a drow.
Yeah.
But mutters to himself and mostly to the party, "Let's get it done."
Are you alright?
This mission would take me back to the kingdom that is currently Ash. How do you think I feel?
I understand the feeling. You know, I had to confront the persons that destroyed my life, too. It's troublesome, yes, but think of where your life is now. Keep that at the forefront.
At least you got to kill yours.
Excuse me?
I'm assuming everyone in the room had like the threat sensor come up. at that.
Yep. Shardacoria is just kind of casually looking over the brim of her teacup at you all.
You're saying you would kill Silonia in an instant if you had the chance? Because I know that's how I felt.
Hold on. Before we get into this, I think our guest has had enough of one kind of tea, right? Maybe we shouldn't give them another. Let's talk about this after they leave. I don't want our group looking any more fractured than it already does, yeah?
Agreed.
If you would like this opportunity to converse amongst yourselves, I can step out for a moment and return in a few hours.
I hate to be a bad host. That might be necessary, though.
It's understandable. There is clearly a significant amount of strife brewing underneath the surface, and I would like you all to have your heads in the right mind space to be able to once again prevent irreparable destruction to Eberron. And with that, she will just basically, you see like shadows form behind her as she just like falls back through the chair and disappears, and all the darkness around the house dissipates.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So that whole thing about professionalism, was that just a whole lot of bullshit you were feeding me earlier?
I will do my job. Doesn't mean I will be polite.
Then don't embarrass us in front of our clients like that.
They did not seem bothered, and they know enough already. It seemed obvious to me they've been watching us for quite some time.
True, but if we can't even hold a united front in person in front of them, what if they decide to just take Sylvana and do whatever we have to do themselves? What if they decide to go down that road where every nation gets to know about this weapon? All because we couldn't keep it together in front of one person.
We agreed to keep the secret. We need to be united on that at least. Listen, I don't begin to know the depths of your sorrow, and I can't begin to say that what I felt was equivalent to yours, but when you were there when I saw that our lovely Pope in disguise was Sharon, someone that essentially has killed well over hundreds of people just like me. I reacted poorly. But we move on because people can change.
Do not ask me to forgive her, because I won't. But I will do my duty, as is demanded.
I want you to look her in the eye and tell me that she is vindictive about her sentiment.
I do not care how she feels. It is her actions that I judge, and I judge them poorly.
Good. Then you can go back to playing with babies like you are. Illy will just turn around and just not engage in the conversation anymore.
We need to make sure we're all on the same page. That's all.
This is a lot bigger than all of us combined. It's not easy to forgive, and I don't think anyone is asking you to forgive her. But we need to act together in order to accomplish this. If we don't, more people are just going to end up getting hurt. And there'll be more people like you, Malrel, who harness that hate. I don't want any more people to be like that.
That is why I am here.
You're just as bad as the Ashbringers, then. Using the morning as an excuse to spew hate towards people.
What did I do when I found out? I was angry. I let it out in a burst and I realized what was going on, so I removed myself from the situation as not to cause further harm. But I know that working together, we can stop more of what happened to me from happening to others, so that is why I am here. Forgive me for my outburst of anger, but I will do my job.
You get angry, and that's fine. We're not asking you to overcome it, but you should at the very least be willing to own up the fact that you just tossed out what could be seen as a death threat to another member of this team. Like, calm down for a moment and just look at that action, right? I'm not asking for any backstory or any lore or any thought or any other thing on this. You threatened her.
Silonia is gonna kind of look up at all of this and go, No, it's fine. You all need to stop. It's fine. I understand. Just, can we please just do this? I can't change what's happened, and I don't care what happens in the end, what you decide to do, Malral. I just please everyone, stop turning on each other. That's all I'm asking. I am so afraid of what's going to happen. I can't sit here afraid of the people that I need to rely on most of all turning on each other. Please.
All right, let's agree on that. We'll drop it here because, frankly, I don't think we're going to get anywhere with it, and I don't think any of us really want to continue with it. We do know is that when we get out there and when things go to shit, we'll get each other's back. But, if I could change the topic, since, we're done with that last one. I did want to have a little group discussion about the important things. For not just this mission, but for the entire goal of what we're doing going forward, which is stopping the Ashbringers. I think we can all agree that regardless of what happens, Sylvana has to live. Siloni, I'm sorry, the chamber needs her to make sure peace keeper, maker, whatever, stops functioning.
Well,
But
so long as we keep her secret, there's no one out there to know otherwise.
But I'm just saying, right? We can agree on that. Regardless of our own personal motives and struggles and issues, she needs to see this through the end.
Of course.
Which brings me to this next one. We've all lost people, right? We've all lost someone that means a lot to us, and we all mean a lot to each other. And what that's done to us in the past has stopped us. It's paralyzed us. It's made things hard, but we can't afford to have any slip-ups going forward. Larissa, I see you, sweetie, okay? I'm sorry, but if you haven't lost someone, you may one day. It's just part of life. But if someone is gone from our missions, we need to be willing to swallow that and see things through for them. I know everyone here thinks that they can handle it, but I know it's harder when it actually does happen. But we need to remind ourselves that there's a bigger picture here, yeah?
What exactly are you implying, sis? I mean, danger and threat of life that's a given, any job you take.
Yeah, and some of us have a really what's that word? Those like insurance actuary guys use for like people like for the chance of an accident. I don't know it, but I know I've been that for us, you know. It's probably why we don't get a good health insurance deal, but how the fuck do I tell you this? How the fuck does any doctor tell their patient this?
If you're worried you're a liability, I can assure you that's
It's not
the
that.
case.
It's not that Euphoria. It's just she looks at Paige one more time and then back at the group, and I'm gonna die soon. I don't know how. I don't know when. But I do know is I'm gonna die. I've been struggling on whether or not I was going to, but recently I know for certain that there's a really good chance. Not even just because we're facing the Ashbringers, just in general. I might die of natural causes. I might get killed in battle, but I'm gonna be here one moment and then gone the next. And I just hope knowing ahead of time will make it easier for you all, so we can all focus on what we need to do.
Sis, darling, that's
We
frankly
all
a gloomy disposition about
It's not a
your
disposition.
profession.
It's not me struggling with it. I've been worried, okay? About will it, won't it? But I know what's going to happen, okay? This isn't me being crazy with my emotions. Like this is going to happen. All right?
What
And
makes you so sure? I mean, everybody risks something with this line of work. I mean, we put our lives on the line with nearly every job we take, but we rise above it. What makes you so sure this is the one?
okay, well, by this is the one, I am not referring to specifically the very next job we go on. I just said soon. If it's this next job we go on, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. But
we all die.
yeah, no, and
It
that's
is
fine.
just
Listen,
we
guys,
need to make the most of it.
and I will make the most of it. I am like this isn't an emotional thing. This is pure logic. I'm not gonna be here, and I am actively warning you all ahead of time. Okay.
Euphoria's gonna look over at Paige for a second. She's a little confused. She's visibly confused, like on her face,
Okay.
as to what this is all about.
Malrel takes
Okay.
a step forward and like looks like pokes Cess in the shoulder and be like, well, if you're going to die soon, you better do some great stuff to help us remember. You've already done a lot.
I know.
But
And I'm willing
can't
to
help but go out with a can't help but go out with the bang, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I go out fighting an Ashbringer, that's a pretty sick way to go. That's like a
No
song for
one
Alyssa.
is going.
You asked why, right? And well, you know what happens when a cat dies, right? Like as they're about to die, they run out. They run, thinking they can run away from it. Same feeling. Out of character says pulling this out of her ass, so you guys can stop asking her why.
I was about to say, is that something cats do?
That is something cats do. Yeah, that is something that cats actually do.
Alarming.
They're right.
But yeah,
Paige has been a little quiet at the moment. She's kind of looking down, but she meets Euphoria's gaze and will just solemnly nod a little bit, like, yeah, I've been told. I haven't seen it, but I know it's coming too.
You've been told. And all of us are just supposed to base this off of something you've been told.
More
Does it matter?
It does a
The
bit.
details are so vague. It's as if it was normal. Don't know when any of us will die. All we know is that we eventually will. And while we do still have it in this life, we might as well do what we can to the best of our abilities and make sure it's well-meaning.
I mean, I agree completely, but I'm just a little lost on what makes the both of you, looking at Ces and Paige, what makes the both of you so certain that it's going to be, in your words, soon, just because someone told you so? Seems like a lot of hokum if you ask me.
Listen, if that's how you want to take things, then that's fine. I just wanted to remind us all that we're doing something far greater than we've ever done before, and with that comes risks, sacrifices, responsibilities, and we can't afford to slip up until we see things through. That's all.
Staring at a clock will make you hesitate. Better not to know and go about life to its fullest.
If that's how you guys work, then fine. But I'll be all right, okay? I've never been more sure of anything until now.
Then
Marel gives a slap to Cess's back and gives a nod.
I don't rightly understand what's got you so troubled, Cess.
Not
They just said they weren't troubled.
I was troubled for a while, okay? And I'm not even just talking about when Juby left or like any of the other bad stuff that's happened. It's just every time I go out there, I'm afraid that that'll be it for me. I was, whether or not it'll be the case. But now that it feels like I've got this sense of certainty to it, I'm not as scared anymore.
I mean, that's fine, but you know we'll do everything we can to keep you safe, right?
I know. It's what we've been doing on every job. I just figured that it would be unfair if I kept it to myself.
Says,
Yeah, Elia?
I just wanted to say that you're going to see her again.
That's a really funny thing to say at this time.
I
It'll
know.
be fine. Okay? Maybe I'm wrong and all this ends with me dying in like a hospital bed at the ripe old age of like 98 or something, or the 100. 100's a nice round number.
You know that I live for a very long time. And I will see you through for as long as I can.
It's gonna be real awkward with me being a granny and you still being older than me somehow.
Yes, I know. They do have a bit of a weird effect for those kind of things.
I heard Larissa has some good skin treatment.
Larissa nods enthusiastically.
Anyways, as
I
long as
asked about it, but she said my skills wouldn't work.
I'm sure dragons got treatment. There's like salt spas and stuff. But listen, as long as we're all on a united front against this, at least until the end, that's all I need to see. Okay?
You're not just pulling this whole dying card to get us to work nice together, are you?
Nah, I was holding this for the past couple of days. It was gonna come out. Us working together is a very solid benefit, though. I will not lie. Anyways, I'm fine now. Okay. Still gonna look like a goth because art is hard to draw, but
Did you just go back to your old hairstyle?
no, I'm rocking this one out. But yeah, I'll be fine. Okay. Now let's clean things up and get ready for whatever job they're gonna send us on when she comes back. Okay.
I don't like this talk of dying, but you're far too young to have that messing up in your head.
That's fine. I'm clear now. Okay. Besides, I got Spike here, and Spike sort of like waves a little wriggle from like Cez's shoulder or whatever.
Gives a very forced smile at the goo pile.
He's on my skin now.
Did your jacket just move?
Well, I mean, I'm not wearing a jacket. It's just Spike's just a part of me now. I guess I should use like they them pronouns since we're like two people now. Anyways, weird point aside, and now
Well,
that
you have
the
an ice
talk is
pack if you have cysts.
And this, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be presumptuous, but this new appendage of yours that has nothing to do with your sudden rising concern of death.
No, it's just better if we'll do more like this. Is all I'm saying. And you see, like Spike much more quickly crawl up her arm and form the claws than before. Yeah, see, just a bit faster. That's all. Listen, I know you guys are worried about dael'kyr tech, okay? I mean, Paige and Sylvana have been saying that since day one.
Listen,
Dad?
listen, Sass. It's just that I don't know what sort of forces you're playing around with. I don't pretend to understand that kind of thing. But the last time a young girl asked me to trust her decisions when it came to wielding more power than she knew how to understand, I lost her.
I'm sorry for scaring you, Euphoria. And you see the goo peel back from Cez's arm as she like puts her hand against her cheek. I promise you, I'm gonna see this through with you, okay? Nothing bad's gonna happen.
Pardon me. I may know a decent bit about magics, but you said dael'kyr? Isn't that what our lovely benefactor said in relation to Silonia?
I mean, I kind of figured like it's just like a school of magic or magitech or whatever. Like, I can't really imagine this. And she points at Spike and then points back to Sylvana. I can't really imagine these two being connected in any way.
I don't know why she was claiming I had dael'kyr arcana about me. I've never dealt with that before.
I mean, maybe in passing, you went through a lot. Okay, so missing one or two things is understandable, right?
I would know. I know at least enough to know what they are, and I know what Cess has, as like I told her when she first got it. I haven't used it. I've nothing. I've no connection to it.
Darling, it's all right. We're not accusing you of anything. I just found it. 2 times we hear that word today. Just something that I'm noting, I suppose. If there is some sort of dael'kyr tech about you, then perhaps we have it to thank for you being with us today. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, kind of shivers and goes, dael'kyr bioarcana always has a negative. It leads to mutation and madness. That is why you're not supposed to use it. It's only wielded by the creatures of Kyber and the insane levels they'll go to achieve their twisted forms of perfection.
And so we're just supposed to be cool with you using this sis?
I mean, I am a little crazy, but after spending time reading about it and being with Spike, I think it's more so the person that goes that chooses to go crazy, right?
I don't know. That ain't exactly a selling pitch she just gave us on us permitting you to use that.
I have been trying to say it for a while.
It'll be fine.
But if Ces does trust it, then I think we should too.
They trust you too, sis, okay? That goes for all of you.
Mm.
I wouldn't be able to fight as hard as I do if Spike didn't care for you guys too.
Well, the last time we thought we lost somebody to a deal like this, we weren't strong enough to fight back. So now we will be, if that doesn't come.
Please don't threaten my dog.
I'm not threatening your dog. She just gives you a big smile.
Let's just hope it's not giving you cancer or anything.
I'm not the kind of woman to admit that she made, but I sure as hell am not about to make the same mistake twice. You let that be known, sis. However you want to take that.
Spike will be aware that you guys will probably definitely rip them off me if shit goes wrong, so we should be fine. Anyways, Salonia, I'm sorry, can I just call you Sylvana? I've been slipping up all the time, and
Whatever you prefer.
it's your name, it's who you are and who you want to be, so what do you want us to call you?
I don't even know anymore. Just call me whatever you feel comfortable with, but please, if we're ever out of the house, only call me Sylvana.
You got it, Sylvana. I do not know a Salonia at all, period. Anyways, and when you do decide, just let us know when all this is done. But Sylvana, whatever you do with the dael'kyr, whatever happened in the past, we've spent enough time with you to know that that's not what kind of person you are now, okay?
I haven't done anything.
I'm saying what. Sorry, I just after all the talk about dael'kyr and what they do, I just didn't want you feeling guilty or anything for something you didn't do.
Perhaps we should just go back to the person trying to hire us.
Well, they won't be here for a couple of hours, so one last meal before we all have to head out.
Don't say it like that.
I didn't mean it. I slipped this up with Paige earlier too. I am not good with words. I just want to eat Lily's food. Can we agree on that?
Then I'm glad that you were able to be good enough with words to speak with us and let us know about this. It is important.
Mm-hmm. You guys are too. I'd imagine Ilya would initiate a group hug or something.
She's not in a group hug mood right now.
That's fair. Anyways, Lily, transition. I'm sorry, Litra, did you want to do something?
I was about to say, nah, I'm not in a group hug moment either.
We'll get it eventually, guys. We'll be functional eventually.
All right. So yeah, you guys get your shit together.
Literally and figuratively. Mm-hmm.
Yep. In a few hours, there's another knock on your door.
Who's there?
Someone interested in talking to you.
Someone interested in talking to you? Who?
Malra,
No.
please. The weight of the world.
Oh, goodness.
You see that shadows just appear on the other side of the door, and she just rises out of them.
We apologize. He hasn't been house trained for puns yet.
I should have been more aware of who I'd be dealing with when I approached you all for this.
We apologize, but we are very serious about this.
Excellent. So are you all agreed?
Are we, team?
Let's go save the world. And
I'll
it
do
just sort of
anything
falls
to make
back.
sure that this works.
making a
Ready.
pointed look at Malrel.
I'm ready to make sure no one gets hurt again.
Excellent. Now that is done, I have to explain to you a few steps you will need to undertake along the way. Now, I'm not entirely positive how familiar each of you are with the particular arcane metaphysics as to how the Mournlands functions, so I'll just explain it for everyone. It is a realm of twisted and unleashed and uncontrollable magic. This makes it incredibly unstable, as well as having a tendency towards mutagenic properties. However, only brief exposure should be sufficient to ensure that nothing lasting happens to any of you. In order to find the last stand, you will need to establish resonance with it. Resonance means having some kind of intimate connection. That is how the Mournlands functions. If you have something of intimate connection to what you're trying to seek, you will be able to find it. Otherwise, you will get inexorably lost in its twisted geometry and geography. Now, I happen to know that I do not have any awareness of something specifically of resonance connection with the Last Stand or with the Ashbringers themselves. However, I do know a place that does.
And that place?
I'm sure you've all heard of the Battle of Seven Spears.
Yes.
Which I assume we do?
Yes, you all know about that. Was the battle
Yeah.
that killed the Lightbringers. And
Okay.
afterwards
That's
they
where the
became
Lightbringers died and the Ashbringers were born.
Correct. That has to have some kind of lasting connection to them. I'm sure that you'll be able to find something there that will be able to create a sufficient resonance with the Last Stand. However, it is also located within the Mournlands, which comes to our second resonance point that you will need to discover. You'll need someone who has a sufficient connection to that battle to be able to guide you to it. Thankfully, we have already found a potential source of that information.
And what might that be?
Apparently, in the far-off land of Karnath, there is a significant number of intelligent undead which have continued to exist post-war. We believe that there should be someone in their capital of Korth who has a connection to that battle site, and so we have seen to it to get you all tickets aboard the lightning rail to take you there.
I met a couple on the ship that were from there. I wonder if they survived.
If it is the ladies Lever, I'm sure that they have proved to be quite resilient. If you have some kind of connection with them, perhaps you can start there in finding out. They are the heads of the Karnathi Eternal Veterans Association, so they should know any of the intelligent undead in the city and in the country.
A meeting at a party gone wrong. Not sure if that would get us an audience, but it is worth a try.
It's a good lead as any.
Well, we have given you the location and the information. Unfortunately, the execution is left up to you.
Well then, seems like we have this all planned out. And all that's left is just to make it happen. Will we have any way to connect with you along the way? Will you be accompanying us, perhaps?
No, I have other matters I need to look into for the steps following the completion of your mission, and I cannot enter the Mournlands themselves. But when you return here, I'll be in touch.
Tylonia, do you feel comfortable?
It's been several years since I've been to the Mournlands. I do know that it doesn't seem to affect me like it does others. I know that because when the morning happened, my father, well, you saw what became of my father, but I was left seemingly untouched, so I don't look forward to returning to Seer, but if this is where we have to go, then I'll be with you. If the Last Stand has some connection to the Syrian military or to the Lord Artificer, perhaps my Caneth dragon mark will be helpful.
It might be best if you keep that a secret.
We don't want to put you in any undue harm's way, you know.
I understand, but I have to do this. I can't ask you to do it on your own, and unfortunately, I'm the only one who's familiar enough with any of these subject matters if they arise.
Well, that's how you've helped this group in the past. It's the least we can do to repay you.
Anything for me before I depart? Says Sharnacoria.
Yeah, sorry, out of character, I genuinely can't come up with anything outside of like compensation, but
Okay.
yeah. Yes, sorry, there was silence. I didn't know what to fill it with. Then.
I was just asking, does anybody want to ask her any questions before she leaves?
What are you?
Someone who has lived far longer than you, and will hopefully be able to see this chapter of your ambitions laid to rest.
Okay, but I was more asking, like, you look elf.
Yeah, just an elf with
The
body
darker-
paint, dude. Don't judge.
Like, are your eyes red normally, or are you really high?
Malraz, don't say those things.
I'm curious. I've never seen
You
anything
don't just
like
ask.
this
Mm.
before. Are you about to quote Mean Girls?
Where I usually operate, this is a sufficient form.
Are there others like you?
You know, if you're uncomfortable by the way, you can leave.
He goes,
I'm just curious. I've never, like...
tragically, not as many as there once were. Now, are there any questions for me about your mission?
Nothing comes to mind from my end, but I just wanted to at least thank you for giving us the opportunity to truly act upon the desire to help. I know if I can speak for the rest of the party, we all wanted to help more than anything, but just lacked the knowledge to know how to start against such a dire threat. So that is all.
She nods, and she then looks and snaps her fingers, and um, five lightning rail tickets appear in her hand out of shadow. She puts them on the coffee table. She goes, "Best of luck in your coming days. The world is truly watching." And she will just take a step back and disappear into shadow. So there you guys are. 5 tickets.
No pressure, right?
No pressure at all. Merely the fate of the world hanging in the balance.
Only 5.
Just another job for Rose Gold. We should probably look into packing stuff for safety reasons and junk, yeah?
Do we need to buy our own 6th ticket?
Oh, sorry. There's supposed to be 6 tickets then. I forgot there's 5 of you.
There's
5 of you,
one just to go
5
stuck
of you
on the
plus
other one.
Siloed, yeah.
We gotta buy her ticket.
No.
Yeah.
The chamber doesn't pay for companions. No, they're 6 tickets then. Mubby.
Yeah, the others can just stay home, keep track of things, stay safe in case anything happens. Yeah.
Maybe build a bunker under the mansion,
Just in case.
Line it with lead, just in case.
Magic lead. All right.
Yeah, Lily, get on that.
Strangely enough, in D&D, lead actually blocks most magic.
Divination, baby.
But not
Anyways.
radiation.
Oh no.
Yes,
Oh, no,
actually, I think it does.
Not my made-up magic radiation.
Figure it out. Let's get hazmat suit, guys. I don't want to fucking die to cancer.
Or just cover yourselves in lead.
You have a
Surely that will
symbiote
have
on you.
lasting health
You're already
repercussions.
dying to cancer.
Cess,
No,
I'm
not.
gonna also Cess not to cancer.
I want to go out cool, dude.
All right. So you guys got your 6 tickets. They will be leaving for tomorrow. So is there anything you want to do before you head out? You will not be back home for a bit.
I already said my goodbyes.
If I can, I would like to pull Paige aside for a bit.
Okay.
So probably while we're packing, just go up and knock on her door.
Oh, hello? Oh, Ilya.
Do you mind just something really quickly?
Of course. Yes. What can I help you with?
May I come in first?
Oh, yes. She'll go and hold the door open.
It's all right. There were more specifics to Cess's proclamation, weren't there?
Her tail kind of tucks between her legs a little bit.
I know you. And if this was news to you, it certainly would have been a different reaction. So it's something that you saw? Or
But not really. My visions aren't that clear yet, and it was more so my teacher from the university. I mean, she can see a lot more than I can. But there was always really that looming feeling, too.
Hmm. So your
That something
teacher
was gonna
told you.
happen. Yes. Yes. I I didn't know that Cess overheard or knew. And I was trying to prevent it. I didn't want her to know. I'm embarrassed that I kept it.
No. You can regret the decisions that you made, but we must always do our best to live in the now.
Kind
I
of hard
know.
to say when I studied chronomancy, but
I know. I know. I remember when we were on the train coming back from one of our missions. I said to you I would not go back to change what happened, but it's just something that I try to live by, and that's besides the point. I just I know that we would both do anything to try and make sure that the way that she dies is in the hospital bed at the ripe age of 98, as she said.
Hmm. Yeah, I, I do hope that's the case. I really do. I want us to be a real family, you know? It,
Hmm,
it hasn't been like that for a long time.
I know. There's certainly some fractures in this little gangs that we have.
Yes. But I, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do everything that I can. I don't know if she'll ever really see me as a sister anymore or how I feel about it, but she's someone I
If
really want to protect.
if I can speak frankly, I know that there was a time when I felt like me and Esteval would never get along again. To jealousy and superiority complexes or what have you. I can't begin to speak about what goes on between you and Cess, but truthfully, I never really got to resolve the issues. But I'm glad that I carry them with me. And just you you find it again. Thrall's hurt.
I don't
It'll
know
be
what I'm going to do if I lose her, Ilya.
you're not going to lose her. But I'll make sure
It seems
that
so. Mm, It seems so certain, but you're right. You can
if the
change the future.
of course. If time says it can be a certain way, well, time has a way of changing. Changes every second.
Just wish it would slow down a little bit, you know?
Slow down and smell the roses. I know. Well, I still have a few other things. I just wanted to make sure that you're okay and that we could make sure. Make sure.
Thank you for checking up on me, but I'll be okay. I know what I have to do.
We can always do it together.
She just smiles a little and nods her head without saying anything.
And Nelia will go ahead and walk out of the room.
All right. Euphoria, I believe you were doing something.
Yeah, I think Euphoria is going to take this moment of downtime opportunity to make a pit stop over at Kai Shen's room. And we don't have to play it out for the sake of brevity, but she's
Yeah.
going to request to have Juby's, artwork and journals real quick. And then she's going to seek out Cess, wherever Cess might be at this moment.
She'd probably be just hanging and vibing with Larissa, maybe just doing one little last makeup thing on Larissa before they have to go, painting her nails.
Cess, darling, can I have a moment?
Oh, yeah, sure. Larissa, I know this is like a new gel paint. Do not lick it. Do not.
Okay. Oh, it looks pretty tasty, though.
No! There are macarons downstairs. You can have Lily feed you if you get hungry, okay? And Cess is gonna get up and go out into the hallway with Euphoria. So,
I wanted a moment to talk through some things. You see, with how important and, well, with the conversation we all had earlier about your situation, I thought I might share something with you that I hadn't shared before.
shoot.
Okay. And she'll find a little quiet spot for them to sit down. She could spread out all of the pages and whatnot, and just very softly look over at Cess and say, This is all that's left of Juby. These are her thoughts, her ideas, her dreams, everything that she was thinking before she left. And unfortunately, frankly, I couldn't make out a word of it. She was writing in Sylvan at the time, but I had Ilya go over it as well, just to translate on Juby's behalf. And there's a lot of thoughts here about a lot of fear. A fear of not being enough, about looking out for everybody. But this one right here, and she'll just tap a particular page. Gosh, she'd be mortified if she knew I was showing you this. But this one right here is about you.
Oh, are you sure I should know what it says?
I've been debating that for a long time. I didn't know if it would help or if it would hurt you. So I've kind of kept it to myself for a while. But I think it's not my place to shelter you. I'll tell you what it says, and you can do with this information what you will. If you want to know.
I'm not sure if I want to, but I know that I should, that I have to. So go ahead.
She'll just give a little nod. Juby knew she had to leave, according to her. Anyway. She didn't know how much time she had left, but she knew she was leaving. This page, right here, talks about how she wanted you to come with her. But she knew she couldn't ask, because that would mean you choosing between her and Paige. And she wasn't about to make you make that decision. So she made it for you.
She starts like laughing and smiling through the tears and just sits back in like a chair and like I'm assuming they're like in a tea room or something. Just thanks for telling me, Euphoria. I well, I guess all moms gotta look through their daughters' diaries at some point, yeah?
Well,
I tell you, the first time my mom found out that I had a boyfriend, she read my diary out loud whilst talking to some of the neighborhood aunts. And are you okay? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So following up from that, yeah, so like I was saying, Euphoria and Cez will probably exchange happy, embarrassing tales of mother-daughter activities like you know, dressing up get the kids getting dressed up in outfits they don't like, stuff like that. And says, once it gets a little late and they should go to bed, says puts her hand on Euphoria's shoulder and says, "Thank you. I mean, not just for telling me that. I mean, for looking out for me. I I know you joined us at first to save your own daughter, but I appreciate you for treating Paige and I like your own."
she'll give a big smile and just, of course. I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous, but perhaps in happier circumstances, we might have had a new Ravamont.
Juby would be the kind of make me take a name, huh?
She
Hmm.
would.
Says pulls in Euphoria for a hug.
She'll
And
give her a hug back and give her a little kiss on the noggin and just, no matter what happens, sis, I want you to remember how much people love you.
I will. I will. And I'm assuming they go back up, and I would like to do one thing before we end the night.
All right.
It's the middle of the night, 3 in the morning, like everyone is dead fucking asleep. And if there was a view, it would be like the silhouette of Cez walking up to Paige's door and knocking on it.
Mm.
You just hear
She'll
the
kind
knocking. Yeah, sorry.
she'll kind of stir a little bit. You'll hear some rustling before she goes over to open the door. Like,
As you go to open the door and you pull the doorknob, it does not budge, and you can like feel someone grabbing at the other end of it, holding it tight. And from the other side, you hear Says go. Paige, you there?
Yes, Sess, is that you?
Yeah, it is. I just I wanted to talk to you tonight. That's all. But just don't open the door, okay?
Sure, sure.
We just thought it'd be good if we told you that again that we're not mad at you, and I don't hate you, and I don't want you to feel like those things are the case. I love you, Paige, okay? You don't have to say it back after everything we've been through, but just know I love you, okay?
Sess. Shami. I love you. I do.
That you feel the doorknob like loosen, and if you do decide to look out in the hallway, there's no one there.
Yeah, she'll peek through and just kind of leave it open, actually, in case she wants to come back. But just eventually go back into her room to sleep.
All right. And as you all finish your tasks and go to sleep, getting ready for the next day's adventures, we will end things there for tonight. Hope all of you had fun, or at least enjoyed it, since all of my players were crying.
I'm in pain.
The pain they inflict on themselves, man. They're like, I'm the real victim here. So I hope you guys had fun. If you haven't done so already, check out all these wonderful players. They're all streamers and great beans in their own right. Also, if you haven't done so already, give me a follow here on Twitch, give me a sub over on YouTube, a follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. We'll be back here on Wednesday for the part 2 and probably the last part of the Iron Kingdom short shot of Desperate Measures. So definitely come on by to see how many people are going to get tossed off of cliffs this time. And it should be a lot of fun. So I will hope to see you then. If you haven't done so already, please copy the call to hugs if you're a follower, for the raid message. If you're a sub, please copy it on the Knights message. We are going to go raid my friends at the Snark Exchange. They are doing a collab right now with Jesse Quill, who is raising money for St. Jude. So let's go send them some love. They're playing the Diablo Resurrection, or Diablo 2 Resurrection. So let's go say hi to some lovely ladies, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. There we go. I'll also be working with the Snark Exchange to be raising money for Trans Lifeline, coming for the month of June for Pride Month, so stay tuned for more info on that. We gay as hell in here, times is tough, so I figure it'd be good to try and raise some money for a good cause. So have a great night, everybody, and the sweetest of dreams. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.